Today, I want to discuss who I think the top 6 actors who could play Dumbledore should be in the upcoming HBO series. Now, this list is a bunch of different people of really famous actors and people who are kind of lesser knowns. And the number one actor that I think should play Dumbledore is a person that I haven't really seen talked about to play Dumbledore at all. So I think he would be a perfect Dumbledore, but it might be a little controversial. So make sure you watch to the end of this video to just check out who you think or who I think should be the Dumbledore in the upcoming HBO series. Now, the books give this physical description of Dumbledore that I want to talk about before, because this is the criteria. It says he was a tall, very thin, and old, and he had a blue eye, or he had his blue eyes, a crooked nose, and a long silver beard. He wears half-moon spectacles and a long purple cloak. And in the book criteria, we get a few different things where it says that Dumbledore in the books, he has a kind face. He is very old, and he's very whimsical, but he can turn on a dime, and he can be incredibly fierce and incredibly powerful. He is always in control of the situation, but he's also very secretive and very wise and very mysterious. Yet at the same time, he has this childlike wonder over magic, and he has just immense amounts of confidence. Now, this is Richard Harrison Gambon, and I don't think either of them played Dumbledore exceptionally well. I actually think Jude Law played the best Dumbledore out of the entire group. But these were the two Dumbledores that people have. And one thing that's really important for Dumbledore is that he needs to live for another about 10 years, because this HBO series is going to be filmed over 10 years. Some of the names that us in the community of the first-time readers were thinking of is we thought of people like Idris Elba could play Dumbledore, maybe a bit too young. We thought of Michael Caine, who could also play Dumbledore, or Tony Leung. We thought of Ed Harris and Lawrence Fishburne. Ian McDermott could play Dumbledore really well, I think. Michael Sheen kind of has that wildness to him. And then the first thing, I want to start with this, because this is going to be our honorable mention list. Pierce Brosnan, I think, could be really good. He seems like he's calm, cool, and collected. And when I saw this picture of Pierce Brosnan, I thought, wow, that really looks like it could be Dumbledore. So he's the first on our honorable mention list. The second is Sean Bean. And the only issue with Sean Bean being Dumbledore would be he is a walking spoiler. Like, everyone would know he's going to die. As Boromir, he died. As Ned Stark, he died. And he might be a little bit too subdued. He doesn't quite have the childlike wonder. But he could be a really good Dumbledore. Another person we thought of was Stanley Tucci. He is very energetic, and he's kind, and he just kind of looks like he knows how to go have a good time, and like has this mad scientist look to him. But one thing I think he would struggle with is he doesn't look like he can keep a secret. And he looks like a bit too cocky for Dumbledore. Dumbledore has a lot of confidence, but he doesn't look incredibly cocky to me. The next one we thought of was Liam Cunningham as another honorable mention. He has a great voice, and he's very strong and powerful, but I don't know if he has a kind enough face or if he really looks like he's in control too much. So that's a con that I have. Another person that we thought of was Sam Neill. I think Sam Neill has this wonder and excitement to him that is really, really lovely. But at the same time, everyone just knows him from Jurassic Park. So it would be a little bit too much to think of him as a Dumbledore in the Dumbledore role. Jeffrey Wright is another person that we thought of. He's the guy who plays Gordon in the newest Batman movie. And he has a very gentle face, but he has this deep intensity that Dumbledore also has. And he just looks smart and in control of the situation at all the time. But one question that I have for Jeffrey Wright is, does he have the range to play Dumbledore? I think he does, but I think it'd be a stretch for some of the things that he would have. I don't know if he has that childlike quality that Dumbledore has. Another person that we thought of would be Liam Neeson. And again, I saw this picture and was like, that kind of looks like it could have the wildness of Liam Neeson. But I think Liam Neeson has this in control feeling, but at the same time still kind. But I don't know if he's like whimsical enough to play Dumbledore. Another person that a lot of people typecast, and this is our last honorable mention, is the one and only Patrick Stewart. I think he's too bald to play Dumbledore, though. But obviously they could add some facial hair to him. They could add a good wig to him. But he has this kindness and this gentleness and this whimsicalness that I think could actually really fit as Dumbledore. But he does not crack our top 6 list. Here is where we start our top 6 list. And it starts with a very unexpected person. It starts with Viggo Mortensen. He is Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and he is the rightful king of Gondor. But I really think he would be an exceptional Dumbledore. His issue is he might be a little bit too attractive, and he might be a little bit too young. He's in his 60s now, but I think he would be an exceptional Dumbledore. He has the range, he has the gentleness, he has the kindness. He just seems like he could play Dumbledore really, really well. Our number 5 for who we think could play Albus, Percival, Wilfric, Brian Dumbledore is actually Morgan Freeman. Now, Morgan Freeman is the voice of God. He's calm, he's authoritative, he has these wise eyes, and he's Morgan freaking Freeman. Like, he could pull off the wardrobe, he could pull off an awesome beard, but the one thing is I don't know if he's goofy enough or childlike enough, and he's not British, which is a tough one. I think he could do a British accent really well, but I don't know if he could actually play the role of Dumbledore exceptionally well, which is why he places 5th on our list and not a little bit higher. At number 4 is John Rhys Davies. And I mean, if anybody knows this guy, he is the one who played Gimli, son of Gloin, and I think he would be an exceptional Dumbledore. He has the fun to him, but he could probably rock the wardrobe and the spectacles, and he has this just, his nose kind of seems like a Dumbledore nose. He could probably rock the spectacles as well. He's very tall. But one con that I've heard of John Rhys Davies is that on the set of Indiana Jones, he just didn't look incredibly healthy. So I don't know if he would be a good option because Dumbledore needs to be powerful in some of the things that he was playing, in some of the roles that he was in some of the scenes that he's in. He needs to be incredibly powerful. So whatever actor plays him needs to have that power. Now, our number 3 is a popular one, but it is Stephen Fry. The pros are that he's read the British audiobook. He has this jovialness and he has this childlike wonder to him. He understands British humor. Even if you just look at this picture, you kind of see Dumbledore in his eyes a little bit. Now, one thing I think he would maybe struggle in is his fierceness. Again, Dumbledore needs to be in control of all things. He kind of needs to just have this fierceness to him that he can change on a dime and just be in control of the situation, and everyone is a little bit afraid of him because of how powerful he is. And I don't know if Stephen Fry necessarily has that to him. One person I think does have that, which is our number 2, and is the most popular option to play Dumbledore, is Sir Ian McKellen. This is an obvious one. He's already played a wizard. I mean, how can you get any better than that? He has this fierceness to him. He is incredibly kind and still very, very strong. But one issue is, would he last another 10 years for this series? I'm not sure if he really would, but this man, I think, would nail Dumbledore so well. I think he was born to play this role. They actually offered him this role initially, and he turned it down because he didn't want to be typecast as a wizard. But Sir Ian McKellen, we are begging you, just be typecast as a wizard so you can play Dumbledore and you can play that role perfectly. But the number 1 choice for me and for the rest of our community for who we think should play Dumbledore is Ian Glenn. Now, this isn't the best picture of Ian Glenn, but this man is just, I don't know what it is about him. I think he has Dumbledore's eyes. He has these bright blue eyes. He has this kind and compassionate face to him. He's got this incredible voice as well. He's like a very distinct voice, which is very loving. And if you've seen him in other stuff like Game of Thrones, he is very protective, but still has this fierceness to him. And he has like this controlled whimsicalness as well to him. I think he would be an incredible Dumbledore. Just look at some of these pictures and he just has this Dumbledore air to him. It's like this playfulness, but this absolute control of every situation that he's in. And I think this guy is just, the only issue is he's just a little too young. And I know that's an issue a lot of people have brought up before, but Dumbledore is a little bit older, but this guy I think could grow up in that role. They could put a few little like prosthetics on him and a few makeup little things to just make him feel a little older. And I think he could play Dumbledore really, really well. One of the only cons that I have of him is he fun enough? And does he have the wonder, that childlike wonder that Dumbledore has in the books? I'm not positive, but I would love to see this man play Dumbledore because I think he has that kind face of Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. So let me know in the comments who you think should play Dumbledore. There are a lot of different people being considered for the role of Dumbledore, and we haven't had anything confirmed yet for who should play Dumbledore. So let me know who you think should play Dumbledore. Let me know how you would reorder my list or any additions or subtractions that you'd have from it. And hopefully we get this HBO series sooner rather than later.